It's funny. It says showtime. Looks like we're live. Okay.
Live.
Hey, Mike.
Hello, Jay.
Hello, Facebook and YouTube people that there probably isn't anybody looking at it yet. So let's give a couple of seconds to say hi and see if we get some eyeballs. Do you have the eyeball thing in the upper left corner? Can you see if anybody's on, or is that just me?
I think that's just you.
Just me? Okay. It looks like we just got an eyeball. So somebody's watching us.
All right.
All right, cool.
This is that awkward moment in like these live streams where people just sit here and just bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, when do we start? Who do we talk to?
Exactly.
Well, cool. Well, Mike, you and I mean, obviously we've known each other for a very long time, probably 20 years, I guess, about now.
Yeah.
Your old band, my old band, we used to play together, and now you and I are both trying to keep as much of that nostalgia alive as possible.
We're keeping that DIY thing going for 20
keeping
years.
the DIY thing going. So the reason I asked you to come on was you're in podcast mode, so you're used to doing these types of interview type of things and talking. But one of the things that you and I know we've connected on a level of has been that you've been working from home, working remote, working for yourself for a number of years. And it's been about 5 years for me. And obviously with the chaos of this virus, it's forcing a lot of people to work from home. And I just had a feeling that one way we could help is just to kind of chat for a few minutes and talk about what it's like, how people can adjust. So first of all, I guess just talk to me a little bit about how long has it been actually since you've been working from home? And I know what you do, but a lot of people probably don't. So go ahead and tell some people what it is that you do.
Yeah, and just real quick, I'm sure people can see that behind me I'm not at my house. I'm taking advantage today of my co-working space because it's shutting down at 5 o'clock. So we'll talk about that's the ability to be just mobile when you're remote. So this isn't my living room. So what do I do and how long have I been remote? Yes, I've been a graphic designer and animator since 2006 officially when I graduated from the school I was going to. And I've had a bunch of different businesses throughout the whole time. And so since 2012, that whole time I've been freelance. In 2012, I started an LLC for JVI.com, strictly explainer videos, which are like 60-second videos, animations that explain what we do within 60 seconds. And I've been remote since 2006. And that's been a balance of working from home and then being able to go on site when a client needs me, and then working back from home or going to coffee shops, just wherever I want to be, I can just station because I'll have my laptop here.
Yeah, that's interesting too, and that's kind of ties me into what I was going to say. Is I noticed that today when we were even texting before we got on, I was like, we're just going to have a casual conversation. You're like, good, I'm wearing a hat, and I was like, well, me too. I always wear my hat. So one of the advantages to working from, I'm in my home office right now, and I know you're at the HQ space, but for now, but one of the till 5, yeah, and then everybody's getting shut down. But it kind of leads me into like, what are some of the best parts of working from home? I know for me, I can wear a hat. I don't have to get dressed up. I mean, right now, I could be sitting in my underpants if I wanted to be. I'm not, but maybe you are. But it's that freedom and that flexibility. And to me, working from home and remote work is almost the same thing. But I know that I don't have to be sitting where I'm sitting right now. I can go to the kava place that I like to go to, or I can go to a restaurant or coffee shop. I can go to a co-working space like you do. And to me, it's all the same. To me, it's working from home means working from anywhere. And sometimes I need that change of scenery, distraction. So how about you? What are some of your favorite parts?
Favorite parts are that you can, depending on the day, usually Mondays, especially during football season, are a little rough because you're out at the bar with your friends, and Monday is a little bit of a slow. It's a little bit slow to get into. On those days, I'm just gonna talk real. Yeah. On those days, you can wake up, and my whole business is a laptop. And I know a lot of people now, they either have a desktop or a laptop. And for me, I just gonna speak for what my situation is. I have a 15-inch MacBook Pro. I've got Wi-Fi, so I don't need to hardwire into the walls, and I can just be anywhere I want to. I could be in my apartment. I can go, like I said, to a coffee shop and go to a co-working space. On Mondays, I can get up and I can be like, I don't really feel like doing anything, or I need to be productive. I can grab my laptop, put on my lap, and just start working. And granted, I'm also coming from the perspective of I'm a single guy. I don't have family. I don't have any responsibilities. So that's that perspective. You have a different take on that, obviously, but that's a benefit. Another benefit is you can just quickly get into things. You could also have a place that's great for meetings. If you're at a coffee shop, it's a little bit difficult to take a call because you have people around you talking, or if you go outside, you're gonna have the wind hit your microphone. And that part is kind of a pain, but being from home is great because you can take meetings. Another benefit is that because I like to create things, especially now that everything's really getting shut down, I've got a camera on a tripod. So I can just do quick videos where in my bedroom I have a white wall behind me. So what I can do is go, okay, I need to make content. I can set up the tripod on my bed where I'll have like the two legs in the back shortened and the one in the front. It's so rigged. But I can set up and I can do really quick ads or commercials for my business, where since I do explainer videos, I'd be like, hey, I'm Mike, and here's a video I did for this client. So now I can just shoot a bunch of those. Or I can sit on my couch, and since I know how to do a podcast, and I've got 2 podcasts, one of them is, This Was the Scene, but I have a personal one where I have a comic called Daily Bread, and I just talk on a microphone. So I can just set up on my couch, plug in, and just go.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing. You can make it into your own studio space, and just once you feel like those walls are kind of closing a little bit, you can just kind of flip the switch and be like, okay, what's something I can do? Again, this is coming from a creative standpoint, but what can I do to creatively have an outlet or use to market my business? And those are benefits. Let's try to think of anything else. And in the midday, if I feel like going for a run, I can quickly either just stay in the clothes that I woke up with. I mean, if I just like throw on sweatpants and stuff and go outside, I don't have to go home, get changed, drive somewhere, come back home, get changed, go back to somewhere, or I'm not on anyone else's time or anyone else's clock to do that. I could just get up, get changed, run out the door, come back in, and within 30, 40 minutes, I've got that out of the way, and I could just jump back onto working.
Flexibility and freedom, I think, is what's appealing. And I think for those people that might be stuck or forced to work from home right now, I think just being able to break from your routine, or going out and taking a walk, or getting up and walking around is probably pretty critical, just to keep your sanity. Actually, I just saw, it took me like, how long are we into this? 8 minutes now, and I realized that there's a bunch of comments coming in that I can see that I didn't realize. So, so hello to a few people: Gavin, Jen, Des, and my mom's on. Hey, mom. But Cindy Lou, Cindy's a friend of mine, and I know her from the local kava place, and she said being remote has given me over 2 hours of my life back that I wasn't getting paid for, plus the money I saved buying office clothes. So I guess that there's an expense thing too, like your gas for traveling to work and
making
clothes.
Home. That's a good thing because your kitchen's right there.
Absolutely, lunches. Yeah, that's awesome.
I would say just on the note, and I don't know how you want to structure this, where you want to get into maybe the things that can get you a little stuck, but I'd say one tip before I talk about like things that can kind of get in your way is people have asked years ago when I started working from home, I read something once I got into it, I knew it was gonna be home all the time. And it said the first tip was always get dressed like you're going to your work day, which obviously I'm kind of going backwards on here because it was like sometimes.
That's okay.
But sometimes it does help to like get dressed. But the one thing I always do is I always make my bed. That for some reason, it just gets me into the day and disconnects me from just feeling like a mess. Because every time I walk by my room and see that, I just feel like I'm just not organized at that moment. It's a weird mental thing, but it really helps you get like a quick win and then go, okay, well, I got that. Now where else can I be structured in my day? That's
huge. You're right. It's one of those little things that just keeps that a semblance of what would I have to do to get ready for work if I had to leave the house to go to work?
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, sometimes I can say, oh, I could take a shower tonight. But I always find that I'm really more productive when I get up out of bed and just jump in the shower right away and like start my day as if I had to leave the house, rather than being like, I'll shower tonight instead, and that's part of that structure of like getting up and making the coffee. A lot of days, I've had to take my daughter Mackenzie, to daycare. And I feel like those mornings that I have to take her to daycare, I'm up, I'm making coffee, we're getting ready, we're going. I take her to daycare, I get back, I'm ready to work. So I think having some semblance of a morning routine is really, really important.
Yeah, I always start my day. Like, granted, I said in the beginning where it's a hungover Mondays, I'll just put my laptop on my lap. That's rare. Like that, even on those days, I'll force myself out of bed and be like, all right, like I got to get going. And it's always make my bed, do the shower thing, get changed, and eat something, or go for a walk, get coffee, come back, and be like, all right, I'm ready to go.
I love it. I think those are pretty cool tips.
It's simple. Again, it sounds simple, and usually people want this magic pill of all this crap they should do. It's like just really those tiny things are the biggest things you can do, which sounds lame, but it's
no, the tiny things are huge.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that kind of moves us into the next kind of thing I was thinking we'd talk about. I know for me, owning a digital marketing agency, a lot of times I'm literally probably much like you in the creative space, where a lot of my day I'm at the computer and I'm just typing away. I'm checking emails. I'm responding. I'm writing proposals. There's lots. I'm building Facebook ads. I'm doing all the things that I do for clients. And I'm usually very quiet. Most days I don't have the TV on. I probably have had the TV on more lately. It's not on right now, but I probably had it on more lately with the news, just trying to stay up to date. But usually the TV's off, the radio's off. I sit almost in silence in my house. And I could sit here with the dogs laying down on their dog beds for like 4 hours. And the minute I open my mouth to like take a phone call or jump into a meeting with a client, like the minute I say, hey, they jump up and start prancing around, and I've got the headphones on and wood floors. So they're tapping around, and I've had clients say to me like, is everything okay over there? It sounds like you just brought in like some commercial typewriter. Like, what's happening? And I'm like, no, excuse me. Ask anybody I have meetings with. And like every time I get on the phone, I'm like, oh, hold on. And I go and I let them out, and then 2 minutes later they're scratching at the door to come back in. And
there's definitely
distraction.
Yeah, the distractions are definitely it's the little things that you don't expect that happen. Especially the meetings are the big thing. You just got to think of your day. What is a typical work day? It's obviously being on your computer, answering emails, doing projects, talking to people, having meetings, and within that, it's just answering email. You're not going to get distracted by you have your own distractions. You can open up multiple tabs and have Facebook open or YouTube or whatever other website you look at. But it's those extra little things you don't think about, where it's your dogs, or for you, it's like your wife can come in and ask you a question. Your daughter runs in, or like whatever those things are. Another big one is your dishes or little tiny things. So I recommend that you find a space for the majority of the time that's your workspace, and try not to leave there for as much as possible, because you're going to look around the room. If you can see your dishes or you can see something that's dirty, your mind is going to go, oh, I'll take care of that real quick. And then you start doing that, and it's going to lead to something else that you're going to start doing, and something else you start doing. So you're going to get distracted by those home things, which you can you should be taking care of after the work hours. But yeah, I think a lot of people are it's just from reading all these posts and Instagram posts or Facebook posts. Everyone's talking about those things that I've been so used to for so many years. I'm like, I think I have to do the dishes all the time, or like my kids are constantly running around. Like, yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people are faced with that crazy reality right now, and that's why they're struggling or having like my wife goes to work. She's on the front lines in the hospital every day, and I will see dishes or, like we have a dishwasher and we have our routine where like I unload the dishwasher and she loads the dishwasher, but she'll run the dishwasher and I won't unload it all day because I'm so ingrained in the fact that from 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm at work. Like I might be in the house where the dishes need to come out of the dishwasher, but between 8:30 and 5, I don't expect myself to get those dishwashers out because I'm at work. I'm not home. Now, if I get the chance or I'm slow or I want to take a break and I do it, but that is something that took practice though. I mean, I've been doing this 5 years and I'm still trying to but I'm used to the being able to separate the fact that home sometimes means office and office doesn't always mean home, so.
Yeah, it helps for you because you're in an office. Because is that a dedicated office? Is that like your living room? What is that?
No, it should be a dining room.
Okay. Yeah, because
we don't use it for a dining room. Yeah, it's just an office.
Yeah, it's nice to have that. Like now where I live in Raleigh, I have my couch and I have like a 900 square foot apartment. So I've got a kitchen that leads into my living room and then my bedroom is separate. And the couch is literally all like where I can be. So for me, I try as much as possible to like get out, which obviously is going to be really difficult now for a lot of people. But just the mobility of being remote, it is beneficial to, if you don't have an office like you do and you are on the couch like me, it's good to, and I'm like remote. I can go to a co-working space and like get out of the house, or I can go to Starbucks or something like that, or coffee shop or whatever like that. So my buddy Matt was walking by. So yeah, so the benefits. Actually, one thing that popped in my head too, because I want to give more helpful tips. One thing that helps me are two things. If I need to structure my day, I know I'm kind of maybe jumping around here. I do have a whiteboard in my apartment that I bought, like a dry erase board that I have sitting up. So it has my to-dos where it's like over the horizon, big things to do, but I'll put tasks up there and I'll have it in front of me so I can mark things off, which helps. So if you physically are checking things off, that helps you stay structured. Also, real simply, I'll either take index cards or a piece of paper, and when I start my day, I'll put it next to me and I'll write down like the main things that I need to do that day. And as I'm doing it, I'm crossing them off. So granted, that can bleed over to an office setting, but that is just another way where the only person I have that's bossing me, my own boss, is myself, and I have to get these things done. So just those little things are really helpful. It's like you physically feel an accomplishment, and it keeps you structured. Like using a text edit doc on your computer is good, but there's something about the digital space that doesn't make me as focused, or there's just, when you just delete something or just cross it off, it just doesn't feel as, what's the word? Good, I guess. So it's the best word, but.
So it's funny you say that, because I was just watching a training the other day. It was a consulting. I'm moving more into the coaching and consulting space this year. And the thing that I heard really resonated with me, because a couple of years ago I went out and I bought a bunch of these, right? Like composition notebooks, right? Like the old school. I found that I can take notes all day long using, just typing on a keyboard in a notepad or in Evernote or in some type of digital note fashion. And I forget that they're there. I forget what I read. I forget what I typed. I forget what I learned. To me, there is no equivalent for actually writing something down in a tangible place that I can take with me and go back and reference. So the whiteboard, the notebook, I think I think we can get too reliant on technology that it actually hinders our learning ability and our learning processes.
Yeah, I read something too in a book where it was like when you physically are writing, there's tens of thousands of neurons that fire in your brain, and if you type, there's not as many that fire. Again, this was someone explaining. I don't know if they were like an actual scientist saying this, but I've noticed that. I think I've felt that before, where it's like you want to accomplish it, but it's in your face, because I can switch back and forth in my MacBook. I usually have like 15 programs open, and I'm going back and forth with them all ADD. But this one thing sitting here to my right, or a whiteboard in front of me, that's constant, where that's going to keep me in it the whole time. I had like another tip that I thought of. I can't think of it.
We just got a tip actually from somebody we both know. Check out Rocketbook. Thanks, Rob. I'm gonna write down.
Robert Heiner.
Robert Heiner. I'm gonna write Rocketbook down in my notebook, and I will look at that, Rob. That's a good.
Is that like something you can write in?
I have no idea, Rob. If you're listening, tell us. Type a little bit more.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is. Is that might be like the bullet journal or something like that?
Rocketbook. So Cindy, my friend Cindy said it's really easy to overwork when you're at home. So she has to pencil in time to take care of her housework, and even on her work calendar, she'll pencil in that time. She also said if she's on call nights and weekends, if something comes up, then I feel less guilty actually having flex hours. I hit my 40 already. I'm around, but I'm going to take care of me now and not worry about office culture things. That's good. And Jen said, just like you, here, I'm going to put that up on the screen. She has a list and loves the feeling of accomplishment of crossing it off the list. So lots of good feedback coming in from people that have worked from home.
So here's a tip too. I got this from a business coach years ago. There was a guy in New Jersey. His name's Dave Shanebeck, and I met him in the Morris County Chamber of Commerce. I'm gonna throw this out there because it just gives him as much insane amount of clout. So he was the CTO or the COO of Babies R Us when it started. He was part of the initiative that opened it. So just tell you what a powerhouse this guy was, and he was like the coolest dude, and I still love him. So he was my business coach for about a year and a half, and where he was great with operations is he gave me a really good tip on how to kind of go in with the whole writing things down and crossing them off. He was part of Action Coach for a minute, then he went on his own. So we had this big piece of paper on the wall that showed like 1 through 8 that was like the weeks. So week 1, week 2, and then there was 5 columns or 5 rows where it would be, something across this way. And he took a blue sticky note and he wrote down the 5 biggest things I need to accomplish in the next 3 months that are gonna grow the business or make money. So one of them would be, I needed to make, I'll give you a prime example. I needed to make my own explainer video. I needed to find a salesperson. I needed to find freelancers and a couple other things. So I'd write them down, and then so those are blue sticky notes, and then I'd take green sticky notes, and I'd write all the small pieces to accomplish that, right? You choose whatever color you want, but this is just an example. So then the first one would be do my explainer video. So the first one would be I have to write the script, and then our concept, the idea. And then the next one would be I have to write the script. And the next one would be like start the initial design. So I'd break it all out and I'd take it and put it on the wall in front of me. So I'd have 8 weeks of you had to accomplish this one little task this week. And then when that's done, you cross it out with a Sharpie and you go to the next one, which would be find more freelancers or whatever it was for you. I got so much stuff done, but it was constantly in my face. So if you have a way to do that in your home, like even for me, like I live by myself, but that's why I have the whiteboard, because I want to also have something where I can move it. Because and I think I have someone over my place, probably I've had someone there like maybe twice in the last year because I'm always going out. But if I had an office, I would hang that up on my wall, and that would help me keep track of those little tasks and just help, it's like the elephant, eat one bite at a time. That's really helpful if you can do that in your house.
I remember when we were living in Virginia and you came when you were for those that don't know, Mike actually like nomaded. He like just talk about working remote. This guy took worked from every city across the country as he traveled around the country.
Yeah, I was remote the whole time.
Yeah, and you stayed with us, and when we were in Virginia, and I remember talking to you about my growth as an agency, because I had just gone to remote, like to working for myself full time. Like I was maybe in it for like a month or two at that point. I was just trying to navigate those waters, and I had so many things on my to-do list. And you gave me that sticky note idea, and I used it for a while, and then I don't know why I got away from it. But like when you were saying it, I don't know if you noticed, like I lit up, like because I was like, oh yeah, that was such a great thing. I need to go back to that.
Yeah,
so I love that.
I mean, you will fall out of routines, and there's certain things that you will just do that, but you could jump back into them. So I mean, again, it's like the whole working from home thing is just how to keep sane. Another thing too, obviously, when people get outside their houses again, it really is helpful to try to network still. Like, so the benefit of being from home is that you can just get up and go whenever you want to. You're mobile. So when I was living in Morristown, New Jersey, sorry, I just touched my face. I know it's wrong.
We're not supposed to touch your face. You know how hard it is? Like, I'm dying.
It's freaking insane.
Yeah.
The best thing when I was in Morristown is that I was in an apartment and my car was parked out in front. So I'd be able to work on stuff, and I'd be able to, if I knew I had to do a coffee or do a networking, I'd be able to jump out the door, get there, and go to where I needed to be. And I tried to schedule as many appointments as possible. So if you spend 8 to 10 hours at home every day, the problem is that you're not going to have that break to go from business to personal life. It's just like you're on your couch, you could be like, okay, laptop closed. Oh, now I'm home. Now I'm in my personal space, but there's no like transition to get there. And I know people, and I'm beyond grateful I don't have to sit in traffic, like, thank God.
Absolutely.
But people having that, at least you get that break. Sure, you get that stress of being in traffic, but you get that your office to your house, there is that difference. But it does help, like, try to make coffees with people and get out and go see them. I think now what's even helping me in this, doing this right now, even though it's digital, I'm in like the same space I've been in, just having this conversation online, or me and Jay, like we've talked on the phone, or I have a phone call with a buddy of mine at 3 o'clock to talk about marketing. So just like having some kind of human interaction within that time is going to be super helpful. But also even now, like, go out for walks and just have that break from the day. And just, there's something about that if you're just like constantly, it's almost like, I feel like now I'm going to feel like Desmond from Lost, where he was just in, I don't know if you saw it, but he's just this guy who was in this like little captive space for years, and that was it. Like, I'd go crazy. I would literally go insane. So I need to have some kind of break.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback on that, because you talked about, like, all right, you close your laptop and boom, now I'm in my home space.
Yeah.
There has been a night, because
wait, you cut out there for a second on my end.
Oh, sorry. It's worked against me a lot in the fact that there are so many times, like Devin always tells me, my wife always says, you probably get so much work done when you work late at night. Like if I work from like 9 p.m. to 2 in the morning sometimes, and I get so much done. That's my most productive time ever.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's just because my mind can totally focus on it. I don't have distractions. I don't have emails and texts, and I'm not worried about what anybody's doing. But there are times where at like 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, or right before we put the baby down for bed, I'll say, I think I'm going to work tonight. Like, meaning like after we put Mackenzie to sleep and Devin goes off to go to bed, like I'll come sit here and work. And there are so many times where I'll say that and I'll be feeling that around 7 o'clock. But after we put her down, I just want to go get in the bed, and I do, and I skip it. And I'm like, there's so many times like I can be really productive. Conversely, when I do that and I work till 2, as productive as I am, I can't seem to go to sleep at 12 or 12:30. It's like always 2:30, and then I'm tired the next morning. So it's a trade-off. It is hard.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it's always going to be. But you just, if that's a small percentage of the time, then that's good. If it's a large percentage of the time, that's a big giant pain in the ass.
Sure.
I was trying to think of like some more things that I've been doing.
I got one.
Yeah.
One other one to piggyback off you is I'm in a leads group, a networking group, that meets regularly. And obviously for the last 2 weeks, we haven't been able to meet in person. There's like 20 or 25 people in the group.
It's like a BNI or something like that?
Yeah, but it's not BNI. It is like that though. It's a leads referral group.
Okay.
60-second infomercial, 10-minute presenter at the group. It's structured much like BNI. Nice. And what we're doing is this coming Monday, we're going to do a Zoom call and try to meet. It goes with that networking thing. It's like, how can we stay connected? Like, I find myself more on social. I'm doing this with you. I'm going to do this with other types of people. I'd like to do these once a week. And just staying connected. We just did a webinar. I took 40 small business people in the Greensboro, North Carolina area through it's called the Lens method. It's a social media method that I've been teaching, and for 4 years now. And we took this group of people. I did it through a webinar, but I made so many new connections.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really critical in this particular time that we're in.
That's the benefit of this, is you can talk to a lot of people. There is something where you can have a large reach like that, and it's also going to be when you have that one-to-one contact, because there's something about like someone just trusting you. I think it's also having someone in your corner who you trust. That's just, even as a person, that can be really powerful. Just, I don't know, just like having that connection is really good. Or just having that small group of people who know you. So there's like different elements of that where it's like you're close-knit friends who you see all the time. Like you and I talk like all the time. We message each other and things like that. So that's good. And then the outside, like we're right now, it's where you're gonna have those giant Zoom conversations with people, just so you know you're there and they know you're there, and definitely give people referrals. That's like the thing that is a giant. I know it's not really talking about like working.
No, but it is.
Just people are just like really stupid about giving referrals. It's like, just give them, unless you hear some really bad stuff about someone and they're like a giant pain in the ass or they do crap work. But I think people are too scared of just introducing people. It's like, hey, you do this, you do this. They have to meet you. You decide if you should work together. I'm just a bridge. Hopefully it works. Great. And also there's something about that. I don't know. There's something about that positivity that's going to work in your favor too.
Totally. So I would encourage anybody working from home to try to utilize technology that utilize video technology. One of the things that I've used pre-apocalypse, right? Pre-corona. I'm looking at my other monitor when I look off this way, but it's called Vectera. And you and I had a meeting in there the other day, but this Vectera is sort of like Zoom, but it's a virtual meeting space. Like I have a whiteboard in the room. I can record it. We can.
You cut out.
Am I?
Yeah, I don't know. On my end it is. I just figured even if it's not, it just benefits if you repeat that.
Gotcha. So this program Vectera is kind of like being in a virtual conference room. Like imagine you're sitting imagine sitting in a room that has a whiteboard and a computer. And that's what Vectera is, but remotely. So I have a whiteboard in the room that we can take notes on collaboratively, right? Like if you and I are in a meeting, if I could write a note, then you could write a note. And then we could leave the meeting room, come back next week, and our whiteboard is still sitting there with the notes still on it. And we can record those conversations. We have, you can have up to like 6 people in the room, and there's a chat board. Oh, I don't know if I cut out and anybody could hear me or not, but also the screen sharing. I could share my screen, you could share your screen, or we could do what's called a co-browse, where you could share your screen, but then I could control it with my mouse. So it's kind of like working on your browser and vice versa. So it's a really cool program that I think people should check out, Vectera. I'm going to actually put a comment in the group if I can.
Was there any questions at all? I can't really see. They kind of pop up in my interface a little bit, but I'm not on Facebook because it like has an echo when I do that.
Okay, let's see.
I know Rob said, I saw Rob's note, Robert J. Heiner. He said Rocket Note is where I think you write it in and it turns it digital. I think he was saying that.
Rocket Book. Yeah, it was called Rocket Book. He said it's a notebook. Here, I'm going to post it back up in here. And But one, it's erasable, reusable, and two, there's an app that you can upload the pages to Drive, email, Evernote, etc. That is awesome. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into getting that.
Nice job, Robert.
Yes, and Jen, thanks. Sorry, I did cut out, but I did put Vectera. I put a comment in there. I hope you can see that. Vectera is the meeting room. So anyway, before we jump off, Mike, you're working for yourself. You're a professional. It's your own company, and I want to talk here on the bottom of the screen. Plug Drive 80 a little bit, or plug whatever you want.
Yeah, Drive 80 is, I guess, like my tagline is, if I can explain what you do in 60 seconds. That's the main product. It's explainer videos that are animated, and if you want to work with us, you can do a 60-second video, a 90-second video, just to give you an idea. We usually get scripts, so 60 seconds is 150 words, 90 seconds is 225 words. So even if you are looking to explain what you do in that time period, that's all you need to write. Because it's usually 2.5 words a second is spoken. We also do logo animations, and logo animations would be like, right now we're recording this, so when we download it and put it up again, a logo animation we can put on the beginning as a bumper, or we can put it at the end as a bumper. Or if you just do clips of yourself talking and you want to have a professional touch, then you can add that at the end. And you can also do this yourself. So once I give you the video file, you can use QuickTime, which is free even for PC users. You can download it, which is good now. You can just drag it onto it, and you can edit the video that way. And what else am I doing? I'm doing realtor gifts for stickers for Instagram. So you can have branded stickers when you're posting something, and you can just type in your information, and it's free to upload it. I mean, you got to pay me to do the graphics and stuff, but like once you have them, use Giphy or Jiffy.com, and you upload it there, and you can find it in Instagram or Snapchat. And I'm also doing, I'm kind of going back into graphic design for a minute because of this whole craziness. So I'm doing logo design and things like that, and print design, but it's just a lot of stuff. And if you like punk rock, you can check out This Was the Scene, that as a podcast that I do with the late 90s, early 2000 punk scene. And I also have a web comic on Instagram called Daily Bread. You can look at it, Your Daily Bread. It's Y-O-U-R Daily, just spelling and naming it. But it ends with B-R-E-D instead of bread. So Your Daily Bread, Your-E-D. That's about
it. Before I blabber on about me for another minute, Rob says, is anyone else getting like 3 times the cold emails? Absolutely. I'm getting, well, I don't know about the cold emails, but I'm getting a lot more emails of like,
I'm sending them. Oh, I mean, I'm the guy who's sending those things out to people, but I'm saying like, hey man, I do animation. You should just keep me in mind. I think also, if you're gonna do cold emails, be casual about it. Don't give me a novel. I don't know you. Just say, even so, hey, this is a cold email. I know they suck to get them, and I hate giving them, but I have to eat. I do this. You interested? I can send you a link. Like, don't send me a link. Don't do any of that crap. Just be like, I do this. Would you want to see some samples? Let me know. I've gotten so many replies where people are like, yeah, I actually would. Thank you. I'm like, sure, here you go. Let me know if you want to talk.
I love it. Yeah, I have a lot of clients that are e-commerce brands, and we have to send a lot of emails out right now. So for them, and then also I've sent a few out for JVI Mobile. Before I jump off, for those that don't know, most people that might have been on here do know, I have a small digital marketing agency, and in 2020 we've pivoted to where I'm kind of like more of a consultant and coach, and want people to kind of look at me as your outsourced chief marketing officer. That's really kind of
give me an example. Give me an example. If I was coming to you, I was like, Jay, I suck at Facebook. Would that be like your thing where you give me advice on that?
Yes, I have training programs, coaching programs, and I would even be willing to set up a one-to-one weekly consultant thing to either A, make you better at Facebook, or B, have something on the back end where if you're like, look, can you just train my person to do it? Or, it's, so I'd be willing to do that for an organization.
So Jay, I've got a crappy Facebook marketing person. I need you to make them better. And you're like, yes, I can do that.
Yes, that's beautiful. Yeah, I would love that. And one of the ways that I'm doing that is through a brand new website that we're working on right now, and there's not a lot up there yet. It's called howto.agency. So it's going to be your digital marketing for small businesses. It's going to be tutorials and how-tos and webinars and trainings and just resources that a small business owner can use to kind of cut through the clutter and understand what digital marketing is. Because a lot of small business owners, I think, are overwhelmed with, do I need to be on Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn? Do I need to spend money on Facebook, Google? What's pay-per-click? What's SEO? Like, I mean, literally they're getting all these thoughts bouncing around in their head and they don't know where to start. They get overwhelmed, and it's a struggle for a lot of business owners. So those are some of the things that I do. And now when we get off, I'm going to go try to talk to Robert J. Heiner about Rocketbook and go look it up.
Thanks for listening, or thanks for watching, Robert.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. It looks like we bounced up and down. And I don't know how we made it 40 minutes, but I'm glad. I think it was engaging, and I'm so glad. So thank you for coming on and helping me get through this thing.
Yeah, and real quick, just top level, make your bed in the morning, get changed if you aren't going to sit in your underwear all day. Get out for a walk here and there. Try to do digital conferences with people during this craziness. Once this craziness is over, try to get as many meetings as possible. What else? Have a whiteboard, have a piece of paper, check out Rocketbook.
Rocketbook.
And thank you, Jenny Gallo.
Yay, Jen. Jen is from Boonton. I grew up, I knew her all through high school, and we've been friends ever since she was probably 15 years old and I was 17 years old.
You should check out the podcast if you grew up in Boonton and you like punk rock.
I don't know if she likes punk rock, but she does. Okay. She still lives in Boonton. So Jen, thank you so much for the support. Mike, thanks again, buddy. I don't even know how to stop. I think there's an end broadcast button somewhere in this StreamYard. Oh, I see it. So anyway, have a great day, everybody. Mike, I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, goodbye.
Thanks. Later.